So now we'll be going over the complete sales module from quotes down to sales returns, how it's automated, how it works, and how you can use it. So for example, now first we'll go to create a new quote. We're gonna see the automated quote number. You don't have to. You can even click on this and stop the auto generate, but we're gonna keep the auto generate on. We're gonna choose a customer, the sales rep, for example, admin, the VAT, and then the warehouse. Now you also have an option to create the warehouse, the ad vendor, and the ad item. Now for example, we choose the buy warehouse, charge a warehouse, HPPCs. What PC is it? Which batch you want to choose it from? So for example, we have one batch currently. You can see you have a reference of batch cost. This is for your reference. So the customer, when you send the customer this code or the sales order or the sales delivery, the customer won't be able to change this. See this. So now batch cost, the available quantity. So for example, we're gonna put in 5 quantity. The unit price. For example, we've set the unit price as 600 when creating the specific item. Now selling for 600, you can see the total area after VAT, and you're gonna add it. Now for example, we're selling around 8, you could say. And when you example for you added, you can see the total has been added and total AUD after that. You can see all the details here. Now when you create, now for example, okay, we need to put the valid until date, and now we put it for 2 weeks, and now we create the code. Now you have the option to view the code here in that this thing view, and this can be downloaded into a PDF and it can be sent to the customer. Obviously currently this is just template, is dummy. When you're going to be actually using the software, you'll have complete customization over this. Now here you will have an option to edit, see the detailed view of the specific code, view of the specific code, and convert to send status. Now for example, you send the code to your customer. Now you send it to convert to send. The customer either rejects it or approves it. For example, you accepts the code, you accept the code, and you convert it to accept code. Now you have a single button here that converts the, you don't have to go and create a complete new sales order. You have a button to just convert the code to a sales order. Now when you click on the convert button, it automatically creates the sales order, and you automatically see all the details of the sales order, and it carries automatically all over all the details from the specific code over to the sales order. So you can see here the item, the quantity, the unit price that we put in previously, and the total. Now you can see here, you can either edit the code, edit the specific sales order. You can see that the quotation has been linked here. There's only one quotation, so it's been linked here already, and it's already automatically filled. Now you can change the quantity here however you want it according to you, or you can add a new item, you could say. Now you could say that we're 12 already done, we put in 8 here, so it automatically changes the quantity here as well. So for example, we're gonna keep it the same. Now either we have the view thing, as we can see the PDF. Obviously this is a dummy, so, and then we have a detailed software view of this complete sales order. You can see the sales order number, the quotation link to the specific sales order, and everything. And you have a convert to received order button here. So for example, we send the sales order, and we've got a purchase order from a specific customer, and he says okay. Now we confirm it, and we received the specific order from the customer. Now we're going to convert it to shipment delivery pending. Now for example, the shipment has to be delivered, it's still pending, that is, it still hasn't been delivered. And now for example, it's just going to be delivered, so we'll have an option to convert to sales delivery node. And for example, now we converted it, automatically gets generated here into the sales delivery node, and it automatically carries all over the details from the specific sales order, and it gets carried over to the specific sales delivery. The delivery number, the code specific, and the specific sales order that has been connected to the, so everything is interconnected to each other. You can see the customer's details, you can see the items that has been done here, and you can even edit the specific sales or the sales delivery. You can add an item, you can add a you can change the customer, you can change the VAT, but obviously you won't be able to change this, as this is sales delivery for the specific customer that you've created it before. Now for example, now you have a button to a PDF here, the details view of the specific thing, the PDF view, and everything. Now you'll have a button here to convert it to invoice or delete it. Now for example, now the status goes into delivered, right? So when it goes into delivered, when the sales delivery is created, you have, when you go to stock movement, you will be able to see here the stock out, as we've sold specific quantity. When you click on details, we'll be seeing here the specific quantity that has been sold here. Now you can see, when you go into items, you can go into view, and you can see that specific stock remaining has, so there was 12 stock, we've sold 8. You can see here stock out, quantity, and how much available, and you can see even minimum 5, and you get a low stock warning. So when you go back to sales delivery, you have a button to convert it to invoice. So when you convert it to invoice, it automatically gets converted to invoice, and it automatically carries over all the details from the specific sales or delivery over to the invoice page. Now here we will have an option to see the outstanding amount, the total value, the all the draft, the send, the paid, what invoices are within. And you'll have an option to search here for specific invoices for specific customers, so you can filter it out. Now you'll have an option to view the specific invoice in a PDF view, details in a specific view. You can even edit the invoice according to this thing, but obviously you won't be able to edit the warehouse, the vendor, the badge, as it's already been created. Now obviously you don't have to go to the whole workflow. You can start from sales order, or you can even start from sales delivery. It does not matter. It's optional that you want to start from straight from invoice, straight from sales order. It does not matter. Now here you'll have a button to convert it to pending payment, same like the purchase order module, and you'll have an option to pay here. So for example, we click on pay, how much is remaining. For example, we pay 1000 dirhams. Great. And you can see the remaining amount. We can go to details, and you can see that what payment has been made, what is the remaining amount and stuff. So we can go to customer payment, you'll be able to see here the specific payment that has been made. The view, when you click on view, you can see that which invoice number is it, how much is the total amount of that specific invoice, and how much you paid here, and what payment method. And when you go back to the invoice page, you can see it here. Now for example, after the customer pays, he tells that some products are damaged, so he wants to return some products. So for example, when you click on return, for example we click on 5, he wants to return for example 4, half. So for example, when he clicks on complete return, it says that it's damaged. For example, clicks on complete return, automatically the remaining amount changes, and for example, now we've returned it, right? So for example, we go back into credit sales returns. You see that there was specific sales return that was created for the specific invoice, turn date damage. When you click on view, you can see all the details of the specific what has happened, it's damaged, the quantity, the subtotal, and the refund amount. And now when you go into credit notes page, you will be able to see all the details of the specific credit note. So for example, the credit note number, the sales return, what was it, or what was the reason of its sales return, the original invoice, the linked sales return if the return is connected to the credit note. Then you can see customers information, subtotal, the tax of the specific credit note, and total including the tax, as we were charging. For example, the invoice was including tax, so it gives you a complete automated system. Now when we go back to invoice page, you'll have this thing remaining. Now for example, you also give a discount to the customer. So for example, you can show that the remaining max discount is, you can give us 1520 as that's the remaining amount. You can see that already credited as there were returns done. So for example, we're gonna give him a 400 dirham discount. You see that the remaining has been changed. The credit note has been created here for 400 dirhams, and as you can see, the reason is adjustment, no physical return, as there was no returns, it was just an adjustment. Now we go back to the invoices page. Now for example, we paid, we paid the payment, and the specific invoice has been totally paid. You can go to details, you can see how much credit note has been applied, customer payments linked to this invoice, credit notes linked to this invoice, and the sales return linked to this invoice. So it's complete automated system that you have complete control over. Now we'll be going over the applying credit notes module. So we'll be going over the next